With the draft being over, we now know who the new members of the Chicago Bears are now in 2025. But yet there's another season left. That's the undrafted free agent season, and that's also the camp invite season. Me and my guy Annie Yep is going to share our thoughts on it, and we'll be back with you on the Chicago Sports Podcast coming up next.
Let's go. Yo. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts.
What up, what up, what up?
Yes,
And
yes.
welcome to the Chicago Sports Podcast. I'm your host, D Nice. I'm here with my guy, Annie Up.
Yes, sir.
And tonight we are here to talk about the UDFAs and the camp invites that the Chicago Bears have brought on into the organization. Okay, Annie Up, how you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good, man. Ready to talk some Bears, man. I'm feeling good about our team, our staff, everything, man. And I know we got this type of optimism all the time, but bro, I feel encouraged, bro. That's how I feel.
Hey, that's a good way to feel, man. I think I'm riding with you on the encouragement. You know, always keeping a level head because I
True.
understand that we won't know the truth until they hit the grass. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
But
for sure.
I'm not as hard as most on the draft. I'm just looking forward to training camp and see how iron sharpens iron.
For sure. For sure.
So, being that we talk about training camp, we got some guys that's invited. We got some more
Yep.
guys that's invited. You know, the
Absolutely.
first crop, was the undrafted free agency guys, and now we got the camp invites.
Invites.
Some very intriguing names on the list, man.
Yep.
I know you took a look. You took a look at it. What you think about the list?
I'll say this, bro. What I've noticed is what's so telling, rather, is how collaborative the effort was for the draft and the invites, bro. Like seriously, what I've noticed is they're making a premium on intelligent players and fast guys and lengthy guys, long guys who can stick to you, So they want the intelligence to take in the playbook and take as much as they give to them and be able to soak it in. And then they want the speed, like Dennis Allen wants that speed. So that's why I'm being so cautiously optimistic while everybody else is trying to rag on us, bro, because I'm seeing the vision. I feel like let those guys cook, man. Because you got to remember, we don't got a bunch of a bunch of cheerleaders and what do you call those hall monitors on our coaching
Yeah,
staff anymore, bro. We got
yeah.
real legitimate coaches. So let those guys do what they get paid the big bucks for.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I do notice the collaboration, and you notice a lot of these guys, like you said, they're preaching speed on
Yeah.
both sides of the ball. That
Both.
additional a guy like Luther Burden, to bring into the wide receiver room.
Yes,
And
sir.
also on the lengthy side, that guy Zy Frazier out of
Yeah. Yeah.
Texas San Antonio. You
Yeah.
know, they finally we have a direction. You
Right.
know, we have a set model on how we want this team to operate and the
Mm-hmm.
type of player that we want to
Yeah.
be involved in this organization. In the past, like I said in the past, and I hate to keep going back, but you have to go back you have to go back, you know what I'm saying, to learn how to move forward. You know what I
For
mean?
sure. For
So
sure.
I think we're in a good direction. So let's dive into some of these camp invites.
Okay.
These extra undrafted guys that's invited to compete and get a taste of NFL life.
Yeah.
Let's start off with the cornerbacks. Now, three of these guys on the list. We can start with the first one. That's Devin Kirkwood at UCLA.
Yeah.
Now, Kirkwood speaks to what we were just talking about. That size, that
Yeah.
length. He's 6'3", 205 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Long arms from Inglewood, California. I don't know how he'll handle the cold, but Inglewood's a long way from
Yeah,
Chicago.
absolutely.
But Kirkwood, the player, gritty. He has a good mixture of grit and finesse.
Okay.
And another thing that those guys made an effort in doing is finding guys that's versatile.
Yeah, absolutely. I
You know,
forgot to. Yeah.
versatility has been my word this whole draft time. And the guys, starting with Mr. Kirkwood, he speaks to that versatility.
Yeah.
Have the ability to he's an outside corner, but he
Okay.
has the ability to play some inside.
Mm-hmm.
But his length makes him effective versus the bigger outside receivers.
For sure.
What are your thoughts on him? If you will,
Yeah,
please do share.
I got a little intel on Kirkwood, man. Like you say, he got the size. He's the only the only thing that I didn't love when I saw Kirkwood was a little handsy, but a lot of college guys are a little
Yeah.
handsy, penalties and stuff like that. But that can get cleaned up. You know how these guys in the league are, man. They're gonna get you with the right people. We got Al Harris as our DB coach, bro. Like I feel totally confident in that.
Yeah.
So besides him being handsy, the size, he's a heck of a tackler, and the Bears preach that. When you get out on that edge, when the offense gets out on that edge, and they might have gotten 7 or 8, and we stop them from getting 28 or 20, 27, 28, because of our DBs and their tackling abilities. I feel like you have to be able to tackle as a DB, as a cornerback, to
Yeah.
even be in a building with us. And that even goes back to Flus. That's probably the one thing that I will say. He tried to make sure his cornerbacks tackle. So I like that from what I saw. But like the guys, that he's a for sure tackler, and I saw, and this won't get a lot of love because it's not pretty, but he gets off blocks, bro. Like those receivers who try to
Yeah.
hem him up, he gets off those things. And while his guys on the ground and getting hemmed up, that guy's attacking the rock, and he never gives up. So he got the motor, he got the length, and he can tackle, bro. So bring him in. Let's see what he got for real.
Yes, indeed. It's a crowded DB room, but hey, competition brings out the best in all of us.
For sure.
You know
For
what
sure.
I mean?
Yeah.
So, very intriguing prospect. The next guy is Isaiah Green out of Campbell. 6'1", 200 pounds. Another older guy. I
Mm-hmm.
think he may be, I think a grad student. He was a grad student,
Okay.
and very experienced guy. He's a little handsy as well, but he's versatile. Another versatile guy. Another guy
Yeah.
that likes to tackle. He had a little trouble coming off blocks. But those are little things that coaching can fix.
For
You
sure.
know,
Yep.
and like you said, Al Harris, I have the utmost confidence in him. But he's another gritty guy out of a tough town, Newark, New Jersey. So
Mm.
he understands adversity and he knows how to handle it pretty
Yeah.
well. But he's also a heady guy coming out of Campbell. Being a grad student, so that's a lot of maturity there. And
Yeah.
that's another angle that we didn't really talk about, the maturity aspect. A lot of the
Mm-hmm.
guys that we're bringing in, even in the with the UDFAs, we're bringing guys in that they kind of got age on them, pretty mature.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
so
man.
that helps. And
No, I'm sorry, bro. Go for it.
no, you good. I was
Yeah.
just gonna ask you your thoughts.
I don't know as much about him, but I heard what you said, and there he is. He got that size and that length, and then the guy also smart and mature. Like I mean, these dudes, again, from what I'm looking at, they don't want guys on the roster that they feel like that they're gonna have to like quote unquote babysit type of thing. Like
Hmm.
you know what I mean, you're a professional player, bro, in the National Football League. It's millions of guys that want to be there. You're here, act like it, and conduct yourself as such. And show us what you can do. Just because you went to a small school and all that, everybody didn't have the same opportunities these other dudes had. So, and I mean, to be totally square with you, D Nice, I'm not saying that I wouldn't appreciate the edge that those guys could bring that didn't get the opportunity that the other guys may or may not. I'm not gonna say just because you're a rich kid or had it good growing up that you're not gonna play with a ferociousness or anything. I'm just saying these guys who getting phone calls after the draft is over and all of that, those are the guys that intrigue me because I want to, they play with a different type of chip usually. So
Hunger.
hunger, So I don't know much about him, but just hearing off the stature and his background, that sounds like it's going in line with what we were just speaking on, what the coaching staff and everybody wants, bro.
Yeah, and some people hear that height, that 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". They hear that height and they think about stiffness.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
do. That's
because
a fact.
usually when you're tall and you play in a quick twitch position where you have to flip your hips a lot, that cornerback position, a lot of people think these taller guys are stiff. But
Yeah,
these guys can move, man. And like you
yeah,
said,
you're right.
their length also makes up for the fact, you know what I'm saying, when they, when the athletic, when their ability can't get them to where they need to be,
Hmm.
they have longer
Yeah,
arms to where they can deflect passes and
that's a
just create havoc and knock the receiver off his rhythm. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Okay, the next guy we're talking about is he's also in the 6 foot crowd. That's Jeremiah Walker out of Stephen F. Austin. Walker is he's a Houston, Texas guy. Um, like I said, 6 feet tall. He has the ability to play inside and outside.
Hmm.
Uh, Struggles a little bit, tackling.
Hmm.
He struggles a little bit in the tackle department. He is physical, beating a guy up on the line,
Yeah.
but once that guy makes the catch, he struggles tackling. But
Okay.
he got good hips, quick twitch ability. Like I
Yeah.
say, he has that ability to play inside and outside. So, he brings his own competitive spirit. He brings his own chip into this
Yeah.
crowded DB room that we have here in Chicago.
Absolutely, and we need that.
Al Harris is gonna have his work in for him, trying to, coach these guys up because he's gonna have a hungry group in there.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's plenty guys with talent too. Like I don't know if I've seen our DB. I mean DB. This like deep, bro. Like it's a bunch of guys that can play. We just re-signed Blackwell,
Mm-hmm.
Jalen. I think we let the other Jalen go, but we got Gordon, just signed him up. We got
Yep.
Tyreek, man, Smith, bro. Yeah. Good luck, man. Good luck to these dudes, man.
Yeah.
Also to Jeremiah's. Excuse me. No, we're not talking about Jeremiah. Oh no, we're not talking about the Jeremiah Walker. That's
Yeah.
no. The DB. I'm sorry. So,
Mm-hmm.
dude, he has a knack for the rock, bro. He went a couple years without getting a pick, but he also erupted. I think it was a COVID year, like 2020 or 2021. He had a
Yeah.
pick six, like 70 yards. He had like 3 or 4 picks. Like the dude has showed that he has skills, and he got that frame as well. And I think when you get around a bunch of guys who can hoop like we got, like you can only they're either going to bring you up or bring you down, whether you got a good room or not. I think our guys bring dudes up. So even if whether these guys making the team or not, be nice. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like just being around the environment will work wonders for their career moving forward, bro.
Yeah. If not Chicago, they'll definitely land on their feet somewhere else.
Yeah,
Like I said, listen, Al Harris is gonna have his work cut out for him because, like
yeah,
I
for
said,
sure.
I have to repeat it because it's so true. You're gonna have hungry guys coming in the door, and you got those veteran guys feeling some type of way about how the season went
Yeah,
last year,
yeah, for
and
sure.
everyone has a point to prove. So
Yeah,
we're gonna get the best out of our coach, and hopefully the coach can get the best out of those players. And if you
absolutely.
choose to hang on to a couple of these DBs, they'll do wonders in special teams and practice squad and whatever. You know what I mean? They'll
Hmm.
find a niche somewhere. Because
For sure.
these are high character guys. That's another thing that
Yeah,
Poles and company has chosen to focus on. They don't
yeah,
want no mess, and they ain't looking for nobody with no static. You know what I mean? Only static
yeah.
we
I
want
agree.
is the guy is on the grass. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so moving on from the DBs, let's get into Bears fans' favorite spot. Well, one of them anyway, and that's the trenches. That's the trenches. We're
Yeah.
gonna talk about the trenches now. We're gonna talk about the defensive trenches now.
Okay.
You know, the offensive and defensive trenches have been a popular subject. Rightfully so in
Yeah.
the city of Chicago, talking about the Bears, and During the draft, we done some improvement. During free agency, we also did some improvement. But let's
True.
talk about these camp invites, these undrafted guys that's been invited to try to make this team.
For sure.
One one guy we can start with, and that's Cole Nelson. Cole Nelson's from Virginia Tech. He's a
Yes, sir.
Johns Creek, Georgia native. That's near my neck of the woods, about
Yeah.
maybe 30, 45 minutes out.
Okay.
6'3", 251 pounds. He's a defensive end guy in charge of that edge pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I watched a pretty good amount of ACC football,
Mm-hmm.
and what you see from Cole Nelson, and you hear his size. He's 6'3", 251. He seems a little wiry, but he's explosive. He has a ton of energy,
Yeah,
ton of
for sure.
effort. Motor just won't quit, and that's what a lot of this stuff is outside of the technique stuff. But getting to the
Yeah,
quarterback, you have to have a relentless motor, and he
for
definitely has a
sure.
relentless. He definitely attacks the edge relentlessly.
Yeah.
Now, what may concern me about Cole is his girth. He's not a big guy. He's 6'3", 251. It's kind of like a slender frame. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's more of a stand up edge. Similar
Mm-hmm.
to like a guy like a Leonard Floyd or uh, Lawrence Taylor type. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we can't argue with this effort, and
Yeah.
that'll be another great thing. He can come into the Bears and display. He can put
Yeah.
that effort on display because that's
Absolutely, bro.
definitely a competition.
Absolutely. And then you gotta realize, bro, like you watched those games last year, bro. Like when we were going through our funk, it
Hmm.
was some guys out there who just went with it. I mean, they came out there and knew that they were gonna get their check anyway, and went back and took their clothes off and went about their lives. And then there was guys out there that was playing like a winning team, even though we were getting our butts kicked. So uh, I put I put Nelson in that category, bro. Like he doesn't care about the scoreboard or any of that, bro. If he's on the field, he's playing, and that's huge. You're not gonna win. There's gonna be some ugly games. I don't care what team you are, who your coaching
Hmm.
staff is, or anything. There's gonna be times when they get the raining out there, bro. So I want
Yes,
to see if
sir.
you're gonna tuck your tail for next week and worry about what you eating after work, or you gonna go out there and try to run it up and let these chumps know you'll see them next time. So he's one of those guys that he played hard when they were getting blown out. He played hard when the game was close. He played hard when they were blowing somebody out. So that's an intangible that won't ever show up on the stat sheet. And that motor, that coupled with that motor, bro, like bring them on. They got dietary people and all of that for these expensive NFL team. So we can get them. If you need to throw on a quick little 15, 25, we get them right. But that motor you can't teach, and like that mind state, like the game not over into the last whistle type of thing. That's why I like that dude a lot, man.
Yeah, it's always good when you can bring a guy down instead of have to bring him up.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean?
For
Yeah.
sure.
And like I said, Cole is definitely one of those type of guys. And it takes a tremendous amount of pride to when you getting your butt kicked to still
Yeah.
put your hand in the ground and
Yeah.
you know give that relentless effort. Because like you said, there's some guys later on in the year was thinking about Cancun while we were
Yeah,
still
for sure.
trying
For sure.
you
We
know
saw it.
yeah we still trying to make something out of this whole thing. It's some guys thinking about a vacation. Um, so let's get into the next guy. Now, the next guy excites me. Gio Paez,
Uh-oh.
former Wisconsin Badger. Last university he attended was LSU. He's another Los Angeles, California native.
Love it.
6'3", 305. Now, I don't know if you've been able to watch any film on Mr. Paez, but one thing that you can see that he's a bull.
Yeah.
And he attacks the line of scrimmage and he commands the double team. At least he did it in the college ranks. He
Mm-hmm.
commanded the double team. And when I was surprised to know that he was a former Wisconsin guy. And say what you want about the Wisconsin on the offensive end,
Mm-hmm.
skill position wise,
Yeah.
those guys out of Wisconsin are some pretty tough SOBs.
Yeah, now
If
that's a
you ask
fact.
me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we have We have T.J. Edwards, and we had he just left. What's his name?
Sanborn.
Yeah, Jack Sanborn. Two tough guys, though they were linebackers, still tough
Yeah,
guys, you know.
super tough.
And Paez is another. He looks tough, and he's another guy that gives the effort. He has the size, and he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder because he felt like he deserved to be drafted, and
Yeah,
he was looked over.
for sure, for sure. He gives me Vita Vea vibes, man. More athletic, smaller, but
Hmm.
like with the way I've seen him just dominate that middle, bro. I mean, I saw this guy get triple teamed, bro. I mean, he didn't make the play, but he wore those three guys out, bro. That's different
Yeah.
to me. It's not always about making the play, man. And
Hmm.
so I was like, oh, okay. So listen, man, I'm glad we got good problems right now because
Yeah.
for somebody like that in that division that we're in, man, we got to deal with Montgomery, Gibbs, uh, what's my boy name, Jacobs. Like you
Yeah.
gotta deal with a bunch of guys who want to do dives and traps right down the middle. And when you get tired, that's usually the first part of your defense to go. The middle of that line, they get to getting pushed, and it's like, oh, it's over with, guys. They don't want to play them more. They want to go home. So, again, man, that toughness, that grit, that chip on his shoulder, that pedigree, that motor, man, bring them on, bro. Like seriously, something make these guys sweat. It's too many people on our team, bro, that's had jobs for 2 and 3 years. I mean, players that I'm like, why am I still seeing the back of this guy's jersey, bro? Sewell, Dominique Robinson. Yeah, I'm calling
Yeah.
guys out. It's so many cats out there like, yo, why is this? They bringing back people they had 3 years ago in camp. No, let's try something different. Let's get a new crop of hungry young guys in here, young bulls. So, yeah, man, I'm really excited about him, man, for real.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, man. And there's plenty of room for him. We might
Yeah,
have a packed house on the defensive line, but it's still room for guys like him.
for sure.
You know, guys that's willing to come in with the attitude, a chip on his shoulder, and
Yep,
ready to do work.
absolutely. Yep.
You know, like these Bears coach. Listen, these guys are new in here, but they're gonna have their work cut out for them
Yeah, for
because
sure.
they're gonna have a job to do, man.
Hmm.
Now, like I said, it's a lot easier to bring a guy down than to talk a guy up. You know
Yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
But
For
these are
sure.
guys. These are some guys that you don't have to really do a lot of talking up. They ready,
Yeah,
man. They're ready to
for sure.
perform.
Yeah, I agree,
All
bro.
right. Yeah, man. Let's take a slight break from this conversation. Let's talk. Let's holler at the people in the chat.
Okay.
See
All right, the
who
people.
checking us out tonight. Shout out to James.
All right, James Childress,
Shout
let's
out to
get it.
Trax.
Tracks, what's up, my guy? Bear down, football fan. 12-13. I see you, bro.
Shout out to Steve Bano.
Let's
Man,
get it,
so,
boy.
hey, I love this part of it, man. The passion, you can tell the passion in the
Yeah,
comments.
yeah.
Sometimes it get a little crazy, but listen, you got to take the good with the bad.
I agree. I agree. And that's what
Football
we do.
fan
I mean, we're
12-13,
Bears
bear down
fans,
to
bro.
you.
That's our middle name. That's our middle name. Taking the good with the bad, bro. We've just been around this long. We not going nowhere, fans. Y'all hear that? I'm sticking to it. I don't care, bro. Because when
Yes,
it get
indeed.
green on when it's green on that other side, I don't want to ever say that I went to that other side. No, I
Right.
stayed here.
Hey, we got to stay down till we come up, man.
For sure. Stay down till you come up. You said it.
FGB, James, I'm with you, brother. But yeah, all right, let's get into the other side of the trenches, man. Let's do
Okay.
that. You
Let's
know,
go.
that's another very exciting position that bears that our fans, are very critical in, and they still feel like we didn't do enough in that department.
Yeah, they do.
Um, Offensive line, we all know that Caleb got sacked a tremendous amount of
Yeah,
time.
for sure.
You know, regardless of the reason, be it through his own peril, through bad coaching, through the guys that's just not having it up front. We
Yeah.
have to improve that area. We've made efforts during free agency. We've made efforts during the draft, and now making a continuous effort to do this in the undrafted and the camp and vice department. First guy I want to talk about, and that's Emmett Boyle from Arizona State.
Okay.
6'6", 6'7", 310 out of Shelby, South Dakota.
Okay.
I looked at the picture of this guy, man. Hey, listen, man. That guy he got a mean grade of hair, man. That
Oh,
long blonde hair.
oh yeah.
Hey man, hey, look. I was looking, I was like, whoa. He's another grad student though.
Okay.
7 year.
See.
7 year college student, man. 7 year college athlete. Hey, he's a vet. He's a vet already.
No, he is a vet. That's what they looking for,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, Arizona State. I think, he's a tackle. He looks like a tackle. He's another guy that's versatile, can play the left and right side. And if you look at the guy, don't let the smooth blonde hair fool you. He's a
Mm-hmm.
nasty man.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah, and he's another guy that likes to get to it. He likes to attack these defenders, and we bring him in to see what he got.
Yeah.
Like I said, we need more guys like him. There's plenty of room for him.
Mm-hmm.
There's more veteran leadership than we've
Yeah.
had in the past.
Yeah.
And when I say veteran leadership, I'm not just talking about by years in the league. I'm talking about accomplishments as well.
Accomplishments for sure.
Because you can be in the league forever. If you ain't never accomplished nothing, it's hard to gain a true respect. It's
Yeah.
hard for these young guys to
Yeah.
give you the true respect that you actually deserve. They all deserve. If you played, so for however many years you played in the NFL, you deserve a certain amount of respect off the
For
top.
sure. For
You
sure,
know what
bro.
I mean? But when you got the accolades to support your years in the league, that makes a
Mm-hmm.
hell of a lot of difference.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly, bro.
So, Emmett Bull, like I said, I don't know if you had a chance to take a look at him, but he's a mammoth of a guy. You
Mm-hmm.
know that size element, we're really attacking it on both sides.
Yeah,
We
for sure.
understand who Da is, but
Yeah.
just having these mountain of guys, on both sides of the ball makes a world of a difference, man.
And to go along, tag along with that one, bro. Again, man, somebody who you got grad students out here. You got guys who thinking about doing life, bro. You hear them like doing their life, whether with or without football. But they want football so bad. But that's my thing, bro. We need guys who understand up front, bro. That's the quarterback, the most important part, and then the guys who protect them got to be after that. Nah, and in the past, we had a couple studs scattered out there, a couple injury prone guys who I feel like would have been awesome if they didn't get hurt. Tevin, I like Tevin a lot, but he couldn't stay on the field. Freaky stuff used to happen there. He'd get his leg rolled up on by the running back and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we going for that prototype for this is about to be the new Bears mold, bro. Like heady guys, athletic guys, bigger guys, those physically dominant guys. So again, I'm glad, like you say, versatility, the key word of the night. And then the second one will be consistency. Like they're saying consistent in who they're drafting, the type of person they're drafting, the people that they're bringing in for visits, all of that. Like they're keeping a certain type of consistency, man. And I love it because we got so used to, as Bears fans, we gotten so used to, you never know what. You don't even know if
yeah,
our defensive coordinator is going to be our coordinator in week 5. So like
yeah,
we're a little uneasy. So to see that these guys are going out for what they believe will be the blueprint to making us dope, like I'm all for it. So I ain't got to look at them too much yet, but I'm about to check them out after this for sure. Arizona State, it's on. I'm gonna check them out.
yeah. He has battled a few injuries here and there, but
Okay.
he's still attacking football. You can see that's how you can, that's another thing. That's another element of this thing that we haven't touched on. Guys that love the game.
Love for yeah, for sure.
You know,
Yeah.
I listen. I don't want to disrespect or discredit none of the guys that we've had in uniform,
Mm-hmm.
but it's been certain, even the coaches.
Yeah.
It's been certain things that make me question how much some of these guys love
For
football.
sure, bro. For
You
sure.
know,
For sure.
and like you said, it's freak things that happen to these guys. Like I can remember guys like Chris Williams, left tackle out of Vanderbilt. When
Mm-hmm.
we drafted him.
Yeah.
Another guy, Gabe Carimi.
Gabe
You know,
Kareem, yeah.
yeah, we drafted him. It's like, and it's not like we don't make an effort to draft O line guys. It's just the guys we draft just don't work out.
Never, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Now,
Rarely. I'm sorry, rarely.
we can blame it on coaching or however you want to, but at the end of the day, and I feel like this, and I believe you heard me say this before. Your development as a player is based off of you first. Your
Yeah.
coach gives you the direction.
Mm-hmm.
Everything after that is on you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like your job as a professional.
For sure. For
But
sure.
you can't escape freak accidents and stuff, and people getting rolled up on and pull hammies and stuff like that. Certain things you can't control.
True story.
But um, we've gotten a lot better this year in the trenches
Mm-hmm.
as players and also as coaches.
I agree.
Coach Roushar is gonna make a world of a difference
Mm-hmm.
than the guy we had last. I totally believe in that. The next guy on the list is Vershawn Lee out of South Carolina.
I'm familiar.
Uh 6'4", 310. That spells guard all day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a Woodbridge, Virginia native. Take a look at this guy. This guy is he's another well put together guy,
Okay.
and you can tell when he lines up and he comes off the ball that he plays with the edge. You
Mm.
know, this is more of what we need in the building.
Yeah.
And like I said, regardless if these guys don't make it in Chicago, with the character traits and the way they display their love for football, they're gonna land on their feet somewhere. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully we can keep. We need more guys like this around, be it practice squad,
Squad. Yeah.
special teams. You know, we need guys like this because these guys like this are going to challenge our starters.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you know that you have some guys that, because players know,
Yeah, they do. We know that.
players
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
players know when they can feel threatened, regardless of how big of a star you got. You can't slip. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
they know. So
Human
this,
nature, bro. It's human nature,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
All right.
Hey, you one injury away,
Yeah.
and I think these guys come in. They gonna come into Chicago with that understanding, with that mindset. They're one
Mm-hmm.
injury away.
Yeah.
Um.
Agree, man.
All right. Let's see what we got left. We got the tight ends. We got a linebacker. We got a wide receiver, and we got a punter. Which
Real
direction you want
quick
to go
before we
in,
move
man?
on, real quick before we move on, D Nice. I got
Hmm.
one guy who I am up on, straight out of Eastern Illinois,
Okay.
Sebastian Pears, man. Dude,
Okay.
super smart, business major, super intelligent,
Okay.
strong. One of those got the motor. Like tough, bro. Super tough, man. Like if you throw that guy, you could throw him at tackle, or I believe he's a tackle. You throw him at tackle or guard. He's one of
Hmm.
those dudes who you're going to know he's out there on defense. Usually guys say, let them know you're out there. It's usually defense they saying that to do it to the offense. He's one of those guys on offense that say, let them know you're out there. Let him feel you, and he'll go and do that. So about 6'6", the same prototypical type. We've been talking about 310.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sebastian I watched him play, man, live, and the guy he
Versatile
looked
guy.
versatile. Yes, he looks different. He looked different from everybody else, bro.
Mm. Eastern Illinois, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you.
Uh, that's where Tony Romo and Garoppolo went, correct?
That's exactly where they came from,
Okay.
baby. Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to throw. I knew somebody out there. I got some
And
people I
the
need to
crazy
look.
thing, I'm sorry. The crazy thing, I had them on my list. I skipped over 'em, my bad.
No, man. I
Yeah.
shoot. I want to hear about those guys I didn't know. I got to do my Arizona State research now. So no, I needed to hear that.
Joliet, Illinois.
Yes, sir.
He's tough.
Mm-hmm.
He's tough.
Yeah, and smart.
He's
Yeah,
he's tough. He's tough. I know a little bit about Joliet, man.
for sure.
Yeah. I dated a girl a while back from Joliet.
Okay.
So I've been there and I
He said
understand.
I've been there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while back, but
I hear you, brother.
I ain't forgot.
I hear you, bro.
Yeah,
We gonna talk about that. We gonna
yeah,
definitely touch back more on that later.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, yeah, he got good size 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah.
Um, they got him listed though as a guard tackle type. So again, it speaks to that versatility again.
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
know, and he's the guy that looks like he can play all three spots, well,
Uh-huh.
all four spots on both sides of the ball.
Straight
So,
football head, bro. Straight
well,
football head, bro.
like I said, we
He
need
gonna say,
more.
Coach, put me anywhere. I don't care. I want to just go. Put me on defense. One of those type of guys, bro. For real. For real. He gonna stick around. That name gonna ring, bro.
And see, that's another thing I think that when we talk about past O linemen in Chicago, guys like Cody Whitehair,
Yeah.
people don't know Cody Whitehair played every damn spot
He
at
sure in the
Kansas
hell
State
did.
on the O line.
He sure did.
And he's not, he's not a very tall, long guy, but he
Uh-uh.
was a left tackle at one point.
Yeah, he was.
So versatility can take you a long way. It may not make you an all pro, but it can keep you with a job.
Yeah. Absolutely,
So,
bro.
listen, man, I get it. And I haven't been a huge fan of drafting guys as this and making them into something else.
Mm-hmm.
I do respect measurables. I
Yeah.
respect measurables of a guy. But, if a guy been playing left tackle the whole time and he has that 6'5", 6'6", 6'7" range and the arms is decent, don't bring him in here and try to make him a center, man.
Yeah, I hear
You
you.
know,
I'm with that.
but I respect versatility as well. But not to the point where I'm making you be versatile.
Yeah,
You
right.
have to naturally be that. You feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, no doubt. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree, bro.
So that's what I'm seeing, that you have guys, and the guys that they're picking are naturally versatile.
Mm-hmm.
It's not nothing that this guy's gonna come in as a project. Oh, we got to teach him how to be on
Yeah,
this side of the ball.
yeah.
Things of that nature. So,
Yes, sir.
that natural ability is what speaks to me. All right,
Oh,
we got one guy lingering at the wide receiver position, at the glamour position, and that's the wide receiver position. Let's talk about him for a hot second.
okay.
And that's Jeremiah Hunter.
Yes, sir.
6'2", 6'1", 6'2", 208, 210 pounds, out of Washington. Another older guy. He's also a college transfer. He was originally at
Cal, he
Cal
was.
Berkeley,
Yeah.
California, and he transferred to Washington. Out of Fresno, California. 6'2" is a pretty good size for a wideout.
For sure.
And as the world knows, we have a very heavy wide receiver room. They just got a little bit heavier during the draft.
Yes, sir.
Uh, I like what we have, as far as the wide receivers that we have, and I think we kind of set in stone with it. But a guy like Jeremiah Hunter is very interesting. He has relationships with the other UW players that we have on the team, and that being Odunze and uh
Kyler Gordon.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and also
And
Cook.
and he from Fresno. That's why I'm number one, my best play on the team from Jalen. So
Yeah.
hey. But besides that though, the guy what he can track a rock.
Mm-hmm.
His speed, what I don't know what his 40 is, but whatever they're saying it is, and that his speed on field is super deceptive, which is like another guy on our team, Rome,
Yeah.
from
Mm-hmm.
Washington. He got that deceptive speed, and he can box you out, bro, like a rebounder. Like the guy. I'm proud of the Bears for looking at people like this. For one thing,
Yeah.
these guys, bro, it's a bunch of guys who can play football, but they're looking for a guy who can play football, and you gotta check more boxes than just being able to play ball, bro. And I
Yeah.
can't say it's been a while since we've been on that train. I mean, again, you know how to speak in a room. That's cool, and you can play football. I feel like that's as far as they went. Seems like a nice guy. He doesn't have any priors, and he can play. But these guys
Mm-hmm.
are looking for how's he built? Can he play? Does he have a motor? What is he doing in school? What is he majoring? What's his grade? What's his GPA? Like, yeah, look into all of that, bro, because it's going to matter on that field, bro. These guys got to be able to know what the heck they need to be. They need to be able to get that. I mean, they're about to learn something totally different. That the only people who have been blessed to learn this so far is the offensive guys from over in Detroit. So they're the only ones who really know this. Now you guys got to learn. Them guys ran like a real well-oiled machine. So I'm glad they're getting some thinkers in here, some guys who might not be up everybody's draft board because of their physical attributes and all of that. But does he quit on the play? How does he look when we get beat by 40? How does he react when we're winning by 40? They looked into a lot of things, bro. Them boys did their research in that upper front office, man, and I'm happy, man.
The layers,
The
the
layers to
layers,
this thing, bro.
the
Yes.
layers. And I know we said F them earlier, but our neighbors to the north have done the same thing, and they've done it for a long time that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I like to say this too when it comes down to our organization. We're finally stepping into the 2020s, you know what I'm saying, form of football. We've been stuck in the 2000s, you
Yeah,
know what I'm
bro.
saying? We've been stuck in the 2000s with the way we do things.
Oh six. We were stuck in 06 to be exact.
Yeah, and you know that comes from, you know, the way we've been picking coaches, and also the way we've been picking players. You
Yeah.
know, we've been stuck in this same old rut, you know, of the old school, and things are different now.
Yeah.
And we're actually peeling back layers of players, even players that may not even have a shot to make the team. We're still peeling back the layers on the individual, because you like the NFL and really professional sports are so funny because you never know when you have to double back.
Yeah. True
You
story.
never know. You never know when you have to double back, and you know, to really, you know, understand who a guy is inside and out. You know, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
And speaking of his 40 time, I found it. It's they say 4.6.
Oh, 4.6. Okay.
Yeah, they say
Okay.
4.6, but listen, man, we can see the 4.6, but when it's game time,
When it's
game
game
speed,
time, a lot of
game
those
speed
four
is a
three
lot
guys
different.
slow down when it's game time.
I'm trying to tell you. And what lets me know that this guy has game speed, and if you watched him a little bit, and I'm sure you have, they run a lot of screens with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of screen passes, and if you catch a screen pass, that means you got some get up about
You got
you.
some get up and you got some vision about that too, because you can
Yeah,
get clipped on the screen pass bad.
absolutely. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact.
And for him to be 6'2" and have, you know, a little get up and some quick feet,
Yeah,
you know, that's something that, you know, we can add on to this room.
for sure. For sure.
Though
Yes,
it's
sir.
crowded, you know, he may have to jam himself in that door, you
Yeah.
know, but hey, listen, hard work and effort, you know, that's
Yeah,
where it starts at. And you
for
just
sure.
never know how things play out. You know, I
And
hope
he
for
he got a heck of a lot of guys to go against on that opposite side of that ball that gonna be guarding him. That if he can make some plays on them dudes, he'll be good, bro. For real. I mean,
yes
because I'm talking
indeed.
about one, two, three, four. We got at least a starting four on the corners, bro. And I'm talking about, and
Right.
I'm putting a rookie in there. I'm putting Zah Frazier in there because he 4'3" with ball tracking ability,
Yep.
smooth hips, all of that. Dude is good, bro. He dang to my favorite draft pick, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Former wide receiver as well.
I did not know that. Thank you.
Yeah, former wide receiver. Like I said, and he's an older guy too. That's
Hmm.
another older guy, former wide out. You know, that versatility and that age and experience, man, is speaking. It's speaking
Yeah.
loud and clear.
Look, we
And the
see
Bears,
it.
yeah, the Bears are showing that they are leaning toward that direction.
Absolutely, man.
Um, Next, let's talk about the tight ends, man.
Let's go.
You know, the tight end position is another position that could get a little crowded over there. There's a lot of
Yeah,
controversy with it right now because
it
people can't
is.
decide what they want to do. Because regardless of how much Ben Johnson has shown, Bears fans don't feel like we need to.
No, they don't.
You know, but it's the yin and yang thing, man. You know,
Okay.
you got two tight ends, you got two good tight ends, and they play differently.
Yeah.
You know, this is going to help us in the run game. This is going to help us, you know, to control. the rock between the hashes, in the passing game.
Yeah.
This is going to help us tremendously. And we also have Dylan Smythe too.
Oh, we
So
do got Dylan Smythe. Facts.
yeah, like
That's next to O lineman out there, bro.
yeah, another crowded room. But let's talk about the two guys that the Bears brought in.
Okay.
First guy, Thomas Gordon, out of Northwestern, local product. 6'5", 255, 4.7 on the 40, man. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
And I hate to look back and say, that sounds a bit Adam Shaheen-ish. They wear the same number too, 87.
Oh man,
Yeah, but
I
hey,
just knew
man,
we
look,
had us one, bro.
listen. Shaheen was decent somewhere before he got up out of here.
Yeah, right.
Just wasn't much for us.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
Mr. Gordon, man, tight end out of Northwestern. He's another one of those guys that's versatile. You know, you can flank him out a little bit.
Okay.
And he also a pretty decent blocker. Northwestern offensively didn't have a lot going for him.
Right.
No disrespect to them, just the fact of the matter. And it's been a long time since we've looked at them as some kind of offensive juggernaut anyway.
Right. Absolutely.
So Thomas Gordon is an Illinois native. Northwestern. Bring him on in. Let's see what he can do. Crowded room, but listen, competition brings out the best in all of us, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, one another thing that we forgot to mention, these guys are going out of their way to bring in local talent.
Yeah,
Like, you got Eastern Illinois, you got
Northwestern.
Northwestern, I mean, and even if you live in like Illinois, like Midwest, I like that, bro, because I'm a proponent of guys play harder. Like for me, instance, when I used to go on the court with my family members, like cousins and brothers and uncles and stuff, bro, I dive on a concrete court to save
Yeah,
the ball. Now, if I'm hooping with couple guys at the Y, two people I know, and then I don't know those other 3 guys. I'm gonna play hard, but
yeah,
hey, wait a minute, I gotta go to work tomorrow. I'm not gonna just dive on that ball. So I'm saying people play harder for the home team, bro. Like
yeah,
I'm from here, bro. If you're not from Illinois, if you live in the Midwest and you come to Chicago and been to some games, been to the Taste of Chicago, whatever you've done, and you got some type of tie or feel to the city, I feel like you're gonna put your best foot forward each time, bro. At least try to.
yeah. It's just a sense of pride, man.
Yeah, a sense of pride, bro.
It's a sense of
Absolutely.
pride, man. And you got family members watching.
Yeah.
It's just it's just like that.
Yeah.
It's a sense of pride. Like your antennas go up a little higher. You know what I'm saying? When
Absolutely.
you got people out there cheering for you and watching you. The next guy is Dominic
Mazzati.
Mazzotti. Okay,
Yeah.
Mazzotti. I hope I said that right.
Yeah, you definitely said that correct. I don't know a lot about him, but what I do know is he got that nasty streak, bro.
Yeah.
He got the nasty streak. Like he a regular guy when he doing interviews and stuff, but on the field, he blocking you into the ground. You didn't got an 80-yard touchdown. He still got you by the pass, bro. And if that's how you mauling and coming just for the tight end position, bro, we could use that attitude one way or another. Practice squad somewhere. So I don't know a lot about him, but I know that guy got the attitude that I feel like our coaching staff is looking for on both sides of the ball. That toughness, that grit, that Chicago Bear midweight monster stuff. So come on with it, bro.
Hey, listen. If that's the personality you bring in, we welcome it.
Yes.
Because that's another thing. I just don't feel like we had enough
We
of.
did. We did.
I just don't feel that way.
We
And
didn't, bro.
any guy, for me, if you lead with that, you got a chance to make this
Yeah,
team.
for sure.
If
Yeah,
you
that,
rock,
if
if you
I'm
messing
building
with
my
me,
team.
yeah, if you mess with me and you lead with that, especially playing that position, hey, you got to leg up, bro.
Come on, yeah,
You
you
know what I
right.
mean? Because it's just not enough of that. And
Yeah.
I speak to I speak to us as Bears fans and for us as Bears fans, but just around the league, period, it's not enough of it around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So out of UMass, smaller program, more of a basketball school.
True.
6'4", 250 pounds, another 4'7" in the 40. He got some good feet on the scene, like,
Yeah.
and plus a nasty streak.
Yeah.
And he can also, a guy like this, we can because we don't have a fullback yet, and I think
Right.
we need to
Right.
work on that. But this is an interesting guy right here. Uh, can play that H back position
Mm-hmm.
on some Kyle Juszczyk shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I think this guy has a shot at it. Uh, he definitely got the last name for it. I like that.
Yeah.
Uh, but coming out of UMass, 4'7" in the 40, 250 pounds, 6'4". I think when they bring him in, they're gonna give him a look in that direction.
Hey, hey, look, bro. I'm gonna tell you like this. I think that would be in our best interest to, well, first off, do that, and also not actually even have a true H back, but like a guy like him. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. Like, if you can keep somebody off me for a little second, because I'm a huge fan of those delayed routes, bro. Those act like you blocking. Well, you really block. So block initially. Once Caleb sees that his pocket is clear and good, now you're a threat at the as a receiver, and you got that 4.7 speed, which no one is accounting for because they worried about all these other weapons we got. And that's what I think
Absolutely.
I think that's what Ben is trying to do, bro. He want to put pressure on the defense every single down, bro. He don't want you to be able to sit back at all. He wants you on your toes, and I'm here for it. I'm so man, bro. I'm so amped. But yeah, I think we're gonna keep a few tight ends. Caleb, it was a lot of times, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. And I love Caleb, but it was a lot of times, even Komet with his little bumbling, rumbling run, he'll go out there and shake somebody and get open. And I think Caleb just wasn't anticipating him getting open fast enough because he's just not a super quick dude, and he missed them. So I feel like if you got somebody out there, Loveland, you know what I mean, Mazzotti, got somebody out there who can hook, and he know he gonna get to his spots. All of those passes where he was looking around and scrambling are going to go to
Mm-hmm.
those guys, and they're going to eat him up, because I just feel like he just wasn't comfortable with the separation or lack thereof that my boy Komet was getting this offseason. I mean, of course, he wouldn't say it, but maybe the coaching staff. I'll just say that. I'm not going to say
Yeah.
that, Taylor. The coaching
I mean,
staff wasn't. Yeah, he doesn't separate, bro.
the organization definitely spoke.
Yeah.
It definitely spoke. And, like you said, Caleb and Cole didn't have the best um,
Synergy.
communication and chemistry, yeah, on the field. And a lot of it was due to a lot of factors because you got to
Yeah.
remember who the
Yeah.
OC was.
Yeah.
We got to remember who that person was. You know, and he was very stubborn and chose to do things his own way. But I'm gonna lean back into this chat for a hot second right
Okay,
now.
let's
Preston,
do it.
shout out to you,
Yeah,
Dustin.
appreciate you. Good Bears Glazer. Shout out to you, bro.
Bears Glazer, shout out to him. Shout out to Trax. He has an interesting question that we're gonna get to in a hot second.
Track.
Um, Bears Glazer, James still in here rocking. Um, it was one Steve Bano. He's still in here rocking with us.
Yeah.
Um, I gotta get my finger up out of there. Trax told me about
Yeah,
that.
Track's gonna get on you. He
Yeah,
gonna
he gonna
text
get up.
that phone, boy.
Yeah. Odds to life. Shout out to you. Listen, I had a feeling that the words were gonna get smacked tonight, so I went the under on Steph Curry. It didn't help me because I went over on a couple of the Rockets. That didn't help either.
Ah,
But yeah, Glazer, you're absolutely correct. Big hopes. I'm with you. Big hopes for that tight end room. I
yeah,
think I think Caleb and I think Ben Johnson's gonna help him out a lot.
absolutely.
Is because even in college, Caleb didn't make it his business to identify with that tight end as he
That's true.
should.
Good point, bro.
And I think that led to a lot of his sacks as well.
Yeah.
You got to hit that guy underneath there. He's there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's going to be another thing that we improve on as an offense, and Caleb's going to improve on as a QB, which ultimately will make him be a better player overall.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that tight end is very important. That's what he's there for.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Trax asked the question.
Okay.
Out of these guys, let's say about 12, 13 guys,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, who do you think has a good shot of making the club?
Oh well, if I have to answer, it's gonna be that linebacker who used to play quarterback in college, man. I mean in high school. I'm sorry. So he see the field different. He athletic as ever, but that's
Michael Batton.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mike. I like. I mean, he's super smart. Out of Houston, tackle for a lost demon, play in the backfield, diagnose plays well. Clearly, he's my favorite guy on the whole list.
Yeah.
And he has a penchant for offense as well. Like he was a
Yeah.
quarterback. He was a star quarterback in high school, dual threat. So I mean, he's seen both sides of it, bro. I think he's going to be on our team, bro. Yeah.
And he's another one of those guys, one of those transfer guys. He started out at Louisiana Monroe
Oh,
and he
I
went to Houston.
see. Yeah, I ain't know
Yeah.
that.
Now,
And look, and he played harder from where he's really from because he's from Houston. So thank you for that.
yeah. True that. True that. True that. True that. 4'6" in the 40, man. 4'6" in the 40. 6'1", 220. He has coverage size and ability, looks like, man. And
Yeah, for sure.
also
I
has
think
the
I,
ability to
I
get to
think
the
we grabbed a
quarterback.
lot. I think we grabbed a lot of guys, bro. And I'm saying this for the chat too, y'all. For those people finna jump off the edge, please save them. We grabbed like the guy Hippolyte. People hate that pick so bad, bro. And
They do,
now
bro.
let me tell you, they were so hung up on us getting a safety. Byard is good. He's a leader, but he's long in the tooth. Brisker been concussed a few times, so everybody was pressing the safety, bro. He grabbed these guys where they can play. They got the frame to play safety and the speed and the athleticism. Hippolyte can move to safety without a problem. Mike Batton, he can do it. Like these dudes don't have to be linebackers. Like you 225 and run a 4. That boy Hippolyte ran a 4, a high
4-3.
high 4.3. Like
Yeah.
come on, bro. Like let Dennis Allen cook, man. I promise you, if these guys got whatever their skill set is, he's going to highlight it and he's going to implement it in that defense. So all of these guys, these linebackers, these guys who might be built like safeties and run like this and got all these tackles for losses, I feel like they got the best shot at making the team outside of like D lineman and all that, because Dennis Allen is really trying to build this up. Our offense, we still can tinker it here and there, but for the most part, we know how offense is going. What we got our guys for the most part, our line and all those guys. On defense, it's still up in the air. Our D line, Billings, older guy, Pickens, he left a lot to the imagination. So all we got is really Javon Dexter and Billings in the middle. Who else was making any noise in the middle? I can't think of a guy right now. So I think those guys, those undrafted guys, and those people, they're going to have a better shot at making the team because our D line was not making noise last year. So the defensive side of the ball is where I feel like the most undrafted guys and the guys who the walk-ons and all of that got the best shot again. I'm not saying there won't be any offensive guys and special teams and all that, but I think on the defensive side of the rock, it's a better chance for these guys to make the team, bro.
Yeah, we did add an animal in that second round, in Shamar Turner.
Shamar Turner. Yeah.
Another
He's a
versatile guy. Hey, listen, man. The more the merrier.
day one.
Another versatile animal.
Yeah.
That can play the edge and play inside. But listen, I'm in agreement with now. The only thing I'm gonna disagree with you with
What you saying,
is
bro?
when we talk about Ruben and Hippolyte the second.
Okay.
Blazing straight speed, but his coverage, I think either me and you could do a better job of coverage than him.
Now you're not lying about that. I think the guy, what it is this though, and there's no excuse, it's an explanation. the guy know he can run out his boots. So what he
Mm-hmm.
does is he get in everybody else's business, and then his business running by him, and he try to use his cover his speed to make up for it. That's not gonna work in the league. It's gonna be
Not at
tutty
all.
every single time.
Yeah.
Your coach gonna sit you down next to him. So
Yep.
I agree with you. But again, like you said earlier, these are things that with this coaching staff that we have, they're gonna fix. It's discipline, bro. Come on, you're not at Maryland
Absolutely.
anymore, bro. You on the
Absolutely.
lakefront, sir. This is where we
Yep.
can't have. So why don't you just stay? Okay, tell me how you would guard this. He gonna see him. Okay, well, all right. I see what you were thinking. Well, why don't you do this? So now he can use his strength to his he can use his superpower to his advantage as
Yeah.
opposed to trying to use it when it's too late. But I agree with you, bro. Yeah, he be tripping in coverage for him to be that
Yeah.
fast and athletic and strong. Yeah,
But there's a lot of ability there with him.
yeah,
And I feel people's pain when it comes down to certain picks. But we have to understand that we have to let these guys work their move when they
yeah,
pick these
yeah.
guys. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
These guys have intent when they're picking, when they're drafting these players, or even when they
Yeah,
bring people off the street. There's an
yeah,
intent there. And we have to allow this to play out. You
yeah.
know, what Ruben does that Dennis Allen, I think, fell in love with outside of the 4-3 speed at his position is the passion and the aggressiveness in which he plays the position.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, I look at it like this. Can he come in on pass rush downs and blitz the QB, either off the edge or up the middle? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But I foresee him, playing the special teams role
Yeah.
because he got some thump with him. He's
Yeah,
not
for
a
sure.
very huge guy, but he definitely plays behind his pads and
Yeah,
his
he does.
helmet, and he gets busy with that.
For
So
sure.
I'm looking for him to come out there and be very effective on special teams. Uh, a guy like Michael Batton as well, because he's another guy you can see the passion when he plays.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the guys that I see that have a real shot at making the team is Paez is a favorite of mine,
Yeah, for sure.
mainly because he feels a need. He feels a need uh, up front on the defensive line,
Yeah.
because I don't think you can never have too many.
No, you
If
can't.
we can have an effective rotation, to keep guys fresh, I think our production as far as the sack numbers and tackles behind the line of scrimmage and stuff like that will go up higher.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy, and this might be coming from left field, is Dominic Mazzotti. Like I mentioned, we've yet to sign a fullback. I think a
Yeah.
fullback is very necessary in the offense that we're going to try to run, because we're going to focus on the running game. He can play the H back position, meaning that during the play action he can get one out in the flat.
Yeah.
Use that 4.7 speed at 250,
Yeah.
to get a
Mismatch.
couple yards, to move the sticks here and there, you
Yeah.
know, to get out on them edges, on the sweeps and things of that nature. Uh, I think he has a shot. I truly do. And another guy that I'm gonna speak on is Kirkwood. I think
Yeah.
Kirkwood has a tremendous shot at making this team, even though the DB room is crowded, and this is just another position you can't have enough players at.
Nope.
You know, especially the way these offenses expand their playbook. They bring out all these
Out
wide shit.
wide.
Yeah, and Kirkwood has some safety versatility as well. Like, this is the thing. Like, these are the things that that's not really talked about, because these are lesser known guys.
Right.
But like I said, the Bears have a plan for guys that they bringing in if the
Mm.
guys can make the cut. And I cannot say this enough. If these guys don't make it in Chicago, just based off the character, they're gonna land on their feet somewhere else.
Yeah.
Last but not least, before we get up out of here, I know we held you guys for quite a bit, and we appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. We're gonna talk about a punter. not a very glamorous position, but Chicago has made it very popular in
Yeah,
the last couple of years.
for
Remember,
sure.
we picked one in the fourth round that some Bears fans will not allow us to
They
forget.
will never get over,
Yeah,
bro.
as if we
Insufferable.
didn't need one. You know, as if the guy that we should have picked in the fourth round outside of the punter was going to change our season.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Due to all the bad coaching that was taking place and all the BS that was around, picking a punter was a position of need because the one we
Yeah.
had, he wasn't worth much.
Not at all.
You know, but we brought another punter in out of Oklahoma. He's a Grand Rapids native, Grand Rapids, Michigan. For
Yeah.
you Michigan people, Grand Rapids stand up. 6'4", 230. Big
Big,
guy.
big dog.
Yeah. I want to,
Okay.
I wonder how big his foot is.
See, now I'll say this, bro. People act like special teams don't exist in football. They think it's just offensively.
Man.
Bro, we wanted a like legendary. I mean, granted, it wasn't for although Maynard was a pretty good punter, but it was we're
Yeah.
not legendary because of our punters. But like as far as Devin Hester and like we made special teams glamorous when it was kind of on, it was kind of trending downward, bro. So I see no reason. And then again, we always want to be, the monsters at the midway. So let's flip this field, kick this ball as far as we can without getting it in the end zone, the opposing end zone, and let's play some defense. So I'm always game for spoofing up our special teams, bro, because how we historically we need a special teams to really thrive, bro. When our special teams is trash, our team usually doesn't do that well. So I don't care if it was a punter, a long snapper. I feel like if they bringing them in, there's probably a need for it, bro, at some way. So yeah, I don't even know who the punter is. I didn't even let you get that far, but I will say, if they calling them in, bring them on, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Luke Elzinga. I hope I
Oh,
pronounce his name right. I be tearing these folks' name up,
I
man.
ain't man. Look, don't
I
feel bad,
apologize.
man. Look,
but
sorry in advance, guys.
listen, the third phase is important, and they call it the third phase for a reason
For
because that's
sure.
exactly what it is. Special teams has won many a games for us and other teams, but
Yeah.
like you said, notably for us because we had Devin Hester,
Right.
and then we had guys like Robbie Gold.
Oh,
Special teams has lost big games for us. The double doink, you know.
yeah.
Like listen, we cannot sit up here. We've had too many casualties uh,
Oh,
in the team department to
I
act like
agree.
that phase does not matter.
Facts. Good point,
You
bro.
know, like listen, we have to respect all the phases of football.
Yeah.
They don't make these specialists for no reason. We just
Right.
not bringing them out for no reason. But as far as Luke, um, I don't if Luke is gonna be a camp body, a special team. I mean, a practice squad punter. So be it. But I don't think he has a great. I don't think he has a great chance of making his team. But to bring him in, I'm pretty sure is a reason why they brought him in. And if not Chicago again, I cannot stress this enough. He'll land on his feet somewhere else. Let's all hope. Because we don't want nothing bad for none of these guys.
Nah, yeah. Go,
You
go,
know,
go, go, go chase those dreams, young fella.
yeah, yeah. And even if you go up north to the other team, man, listen. You know what I'm saying? Just do enough to buy mom and dad a house and make sure you have a excellent living for you and the rest of your family, man. Do
That's
what you
real.
got to do.
That's real, man.
So yeah, on that note, Annie up, it's been a pleasure, my
Been
brother.
a pleasure, my
You
brother.
know what I'm saying? We gonna get up out of here. Shout out to you all hanging out with us tonight. We kept you guys for like a strong hour and eight. That's not too bad. You know, some of y'all's bedtime at 10:30.
That's a
You
fact.
know what I'm saying? We didn't got y'all tucked in, man, and we we appreciate y'all rocking with us tonight.
Thanks, Chad.
You got anything to say before we get up out of here?
Yes, sir. Y'all bear down. I get it. Some of y'all cautiously optimistic. Nothing wrong with that. Don't jump off the bandwagon, team. Like don't just run us in the mud. And then when we start winning, run back, like that ain't real. Be real with yourself. Forget us. We don't know. Some of y'all probably got burner pages and stuff. But anywho, let's root for our guys, man. Let's if you see this face, if I don't see y'all, but if you see me out at Bears events, I don't mind. Run up on me. I'm good. It is, if you got your Bears attire on, you screaming bear down, it's all good. But let's get it this season, guys. I feel real good about it. Let's watch how it unfolds, and let's let these professionals do what they get paid to do.
Couldn't have said it better myself, man. Hey, we are we are one, man. We gotta stay one. We on the strongest, the weakest link.
Yes,
So
sir.
on that note, bear down to everybody. Shout out to everybody again. Shout out to everybody that checked us out tonight. Shout out to you, Trax, for making this all happen for us,
Thank you,
man.
Trax.
You the man. You the man. You the man.
Yes, sir.
So good night, y'all, and bear down.
Bear down. Until next time, y'all.